प्रेजेंटेड बाय ईबिक्स कैश। हर खुशी के लिए काफी है।
Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bakaya. Here are the headlines. A muted Dhanteras as benchmark indices succumb to selling pressure in trade today. Weak global cues and Fed taper fears pulled the Sensex down 109 points. Dhanteras treat for all Business Today TV viewers. Global commodities guru Jim Rogers tells you whether it's the right time to invest in gold or not. Tourism industry all set for a major boost. Centre moves to grant infra status to the sector. It's a Business Today TV exclusive. India Inc. vows to make India carbon neutral, throws its weight behind Prime Minister Modi's promise to reach net zero carbon goal by 2070. Yahoo makes an exit from China amid tightened regulation in the world's biggest internet market. After LinkedIn, Yahoo stopped the remaining online services in mainland China today. Domestic benchmark indices moved between gains and losses today before ending the day in the red. Volatility soaring higher. Sensex ending 109 points lower at 60,029, while the Nifty dropped 40 points to end at 17,888. Maruti and NTPC were the top gainers today, followed by Titan, SBI and Larsen & Toubro. Tata Steel, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, some of the top laggards in trade. Broader markets outperformed the benchmarks, the Bank Nifty inching closer to 40,000, up about 0.4%. And apart from this, on the occasion of Dhanteras, gold in the national capital gained to move higher at 46,844 rupees per 10 grams, reflecting an overnight rebound in international precious metal prices. Samvat 2077 was a strong one for equity investors, with activity on Dalal Street really picking up steam. Sensex and Nifty posted their best gains in 13 years. Soaring unicorns, private capex and significant pickup in the pace of vaccination added to the buoyant sentiment. Watch this special report to find out how markets performed in Samvat 2077 and where markets are headed next year.
Equity markets had a historical Samvat 2077, with the benchmark indices touching new lifetimes high, reaching 18,000 and 62,000 marks for the first time in history. While the Sensex was at a record high of 62,245, up 42.6% from previous Diwali, Nifty gave more than 40% returns in Samvat 2077. The key factors in driving the market were improved macro indicators, strong global liquidity, increased economic activities, significant pickup in vaccination, and sharp recovery in corporate earnings. Overall, most sectors delivered positive returns during the year, including metals, realty, and PSU banks as top gainers, while sectors such as pharma, FMCG, and private banks underperformed in comparison. The broader market has outperformed the large cap universe in the last 1 year, after a muted performance seen in the calendar year 2018 and 19. For the year ahead, investors on Dalal Street should keep their shopping bags ready, as various analysts have set a target of 72,000 for the Sensex and 21,000 for the Nifty by next Diwali, indicating an upside of over 15% from the current levels. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Dhanteras is the time to buy gold, and who else to advise you better than veteran commodities guru Jim Rogers? Is it the right time to invest in gold? Is gold the better investment, or will silver give you better returns? Listen in to what Rogers had to say in an earlier interaction with me. Jim, it's such a treat to have you join us today, especially at a time when you continue to be very, very bullish on commodities. Let's dive right in, especially, during this time of year here in India. Everyone's out there looking to go shopping, and particularly, of course, for some of those heavy metals. So how's gold looking to you right now?
Please go out and buy me some gold. It always looks good to me. I mean, I have my gold right here, but if you don't want to buy gold, buy me some silver. You know, I will take both. I'm actually not buying either one right now, although I expect to buy more. I'm not very good at market timing, but I hope that if they go down some more, I will buy more of each. Before this is over, the next year or two or three, gold and silver are going to go up a huge amount.
That's so interesting, Jim, because I was going to ask you, given the kind of gains that we have seen, yes, they've been looking good, but, you know, are they starting to look expensive? And what's the kind of increase you're anticipating? So when you're saying the next 2-3 years, I mean, how much more? And is this a good time then to get in and stay invested through ETFs, or what would you recommend?
Well, if a person does not own some gold or silver, she should buy some more. She should certainly buy some gold and silver. Everybody should have some gold and silver. If you know a lot about it, then you can buy more, and you can buy a whole lot of gold and silver if you know whole lot about it, and you will get the timing. You can buy ETFs, you can buy gold itself, you can buy stocks. There are many, you can buy futures. There are many ways to buy gold and silver, depending on what you know.
Okay, so between gold and silver then, which one comes first and why?
For me, at today's prices, silver comes first. Okay. Silver is down 60% from its all-time high. Gold is down 10% from its all-time high. So on a historic basis, silver is much cheaper. If I were buying either one of them today, I would buy silver. Okay,
fair enough. And in terms of commodities vis-a-vis what we're seeing otherwise in equity markets, how do you think it stands on a relative basis as an attractive investment option?
As you look around the world, we know that bonds are a bubble. Bonds have never been this expensive in the entire history of the world. So that's a bubble. If you look at property in some countries, New Zealand, Korea, some places, property is a bubble and getting worse. If you look at stocks, I mean, stocks are beginning to form bubbles. Amazon never goes down. Samsung goes up every day. Tencent goes up every day. The Indian stock market's making new highs. So stocks are certainly not cheap. They're forming bubbles in some places. The cheapest asset class in the world, commodities. Silver is down 60% from its all-time high. Sugar is down huge from its all-time high. These are not bubble numbers. Commodities are still the cheapest asset class right now.
Are you expecting or anticipating any kind of correction or crash in the equity markets, Jim? Because as you mentioned, and it's a global phenomenon, especially what we're seeing on Wall Street and here in India, we've just continued to see markets trend higher and higher from one record to the other.
But watch India today. They will tell you. That's how you know. You think I know? I watch India today.
Cool.
No, I would suspect that the bubble is going to last for a while longer, because not all stocks are in the bubble yet. But when everything is in the stock market bubble, then it will be time to get out. I am not selling yet. I am not selling short. I am certainly not selling short. But if this thing has one last explosion, then I hope I'm smart enough to start selling and to start selling short all over the world.
4 IPOs were open to subscription, with one closing at 5 p.m. this evening. Fino Payments Bank saw a rather muted response, with its IPO subscribed twice the offer amount. Retail investors, in fact, had a better response, with their shares subscribed nearly 6 times. The Policy Bazaar IPO, which closes tomorrow, saw 159% subscription. The retail portion subscribed 2.04 times. Logistics company Delivery has joined the queue of startups raising money via IPOs. The company has filed its prospectus with SEBI to raise up to 7,460 crore rupees. The proposed IPO would comprise a fresh issue of 5,000 crore rupees and an offer for sale of 2,460 crore rupees by certain existing shareholders. The proceeds from the IPO will be used to fund growth and other strategic initiatives. 6 days and counting, anticipation is slowly building towards the mega Paytm IPO. According to reports, the company is in talks to raise nearly 7,500 crore rupees from anchor investors. If the talks are a success, this amount will be deducted from the total IPO proceeds of 18,300 crore rupees. Talks are reportedly in progress with large institutional investors, including BlackRock, CPPIB and GIC. The firm has garnered interest from large blue-chip global tech funds for its $2.4 billion IPO anchor round, which closes on the 3rd of November. According to sources, Paytm's anchor round is set to see some mega investors making one of their first investments in India through their tech-focused funds. The IPO opens on 8th of November and closes on the 10th. Now, the Uday Kotak-led IL&FS has recovered a significant 86% of the overall estimated resolution value of 61,000 crore rupees. New board and management of IL&FS has addressed debt worth 52,200 crore since October 2018. The chairman, Uday Kotak, says that the recovery has reinforced belief that a fair amount of money can be recovered from the most difficult case. Listen in.
So 14,100 crores debt discharge, 16,700 crores cash lying with the group. If you add the two, the total is just short of 31,000 crores. In addition to that, we have completed in many cases the sale and purchase agreement. We have filed with NCLT. In some cases, approval from NCLT received. Some cases, pending approval of the NCLT. And we are in the stages of completion of those transactions, which have been otherwise completed from a resolution point of view at IL&FS, but pending the court approvals and the final closings in many cases. That is additionally 21,000 crores of work done and effectively from our point of view, either resolved or restructured to what we think was appropriate.
India's tourism sector, hit hard by the COVID pandemic and subsequent lockdown, is set to receive a major boost. Government sources have told Business Today TV that the centre is planning on granting tourism industry status of an infrastructure sector. The move will allow the industry access to easier loans as well as easier FDI clearances. One of the most important steps being considered by the government is a plan to refund foreign visitors GST that they pay on purchases made during their travels in India. For more information on this, we're joined by Business Today TV Associate Editor Chetan Bhutani. Chetan, take us through how significant this is for a sector that was hit really hard during COVID and the ease with which some of these new suggestions can be implemented.
Well, that's right, Abha. You correctly pointed out that the COVID indeed hit the tourism sector really, really hard. In fact, what my sources are telling me exclusively is the fact that the Prime Minister-led the Union Cabinet would soon consider the proposal for the new tourism, the national tourism policy, which would accord infrastructure status to the hospitality industry. What does that mean? That means that the infrastructure status helps in accessing longer-term loans and flexible refinancing options through specialized lenders. It also allows tourism companies easier FDI clearances and tax relaxation, thereby giving a boost to the tourism and the hospitality industry. The policy, however, focuses on about 9 to 10 key pillars, which means welcoming the visitor with seamless connectivity, promoting fresh investments, diversifying availability of tourism destinations, and of course, the government wants to have a complete synergy between the roads, railways, aviation, and the waterways, thereby allowing tourists to go with full freedom. However, the policy also lays emphasis on developing on theme-based circuits with focus on the northeast sectors and of course Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. So in the times to come, we can expect a huge boost and a complete overhaul to the country's tourism sector.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us with that story this evening, Chetan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made a bold pledge by declaring that India will reach net zero in carbon emissions by 2070. But the government can't do it without Indian businesses creating a carbon-free India. So how can India Inc. help the country achieve this ambitious target?
Not only COVID, but heat waves, flash floods Cyclones, forest fires, intense bouts of rainfall have wreaked havoc in 2021. The world has witnessed a manifold rise in adverse climate change events. With an aim to tackle climate change-related events, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has listed the 5 Amrit Tattvas to deal with the challenge.
क्लाइमेट चेंज पर इस वैश्विक मंथन के बीच मैं भारत की ओर से इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए 5 अमृत तत्व रखना चाहता हूं। पंचामृत की सौगात देना चाहता हूं। पहला, भारत 2030 तक अपनी नॉन फोसिल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी को 500 गीगावाट तक पहुंचाएगा। दूसरा, भारत 2030 तक अपनी 50% एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी से पूरी करेगा। तीसरा, भारत अब से लेकर 2030 तक के कुल प्रोजेक्टेड कार्बन एमिशन में 1 बिलियन टन की कमी करेगा। चौथा, 2030 तक भारत अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की कार्बन इंटेंसिटी को 45% से भी कम करेगा। और पांचवा, वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा।
So what does going net zero entail? For a country to reach net zero emission target, greenhouse gases produced need to be completely absorbed via natural solutions or technology. Afforestation holds the key to ensuring that CO2 is sucked out of the atmosphere. Technology can help too. Carbon capture and storage process can remove CO2 before it is released into the atmosphere. In order to mitigate the impact of the crisis, Indian conglomerates need to join the climate action narrative. While we have a long road ahead, some of the biggest conglomerates in India are now making it their business to go green. The big boy RIL is going all in. The company plans to go net carbon zero by 2035 and will be investing 75,000 crore rupees in 3 years towards green energy initiatives. Tech companies like TCS too aims to achieve the goal by 2030. Wipro, Infosys also have similar plans, while Mahindra Group has decided to go carbon neutral by 2040. Vedanta aims to accelerate the transition to net zero and achieve the goal by 2050. But why should India care? According to the Carbon Disclosure Project, if Indian companies don't act now to mitigate climate risk, they can collectively lose over 7.14 lakh crore rupees. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
With China continuing to clamp down on tech and gaming companies, Yahoo and Epic Games have decided to exit the Chinese market for good. Yahoo Inc. pulled its services from China, citing an increasingly challenging business and legal environment. The company's services will no longer be accessible from China. On the other hand, Epic Games has pulled the plug on Fortnite in China. The move comes months after authorities imposed a series of strict curbs on the world's biggest gaming market. Microsoft-owned LinkedIn had also stopped most of its networking services in China last month. This is the week the film industry, especially south of the Vindhyas, has been waiting for. Preparations have already begun to welcome Thalaiva back onto the big screen. Let's take a look at what the release of Rajnikant's Anate means for a cash-starved film industry.
Hopes are high that after an 18-month lockdown, crowds will return to cinema halls and the cash registers will start ringing again. Though no one wants to talk numbers officially. Estimates put the production cost of Annate at 230 crore rupees. Of this, sources say Rajnikant's fee itself is a whopping 100 crore. The director nets 15 to 20 crores, while the fee to other stars and staff is 50 crore rupees. The actual production cost is estimated at just 60 crore rupees. Meanwhile, Rajnikant's health has been a cause of concern, and his hospitalization remains a hot topic in Tamil Nadu. In fact, this is only expected to garner more audience interest for the big budget Annathai. Theatrical rights of the film in Tamil Nadu have been sold at 55 crore rupees and satellite rights for 30 crore. Digital rights have earned the producers 35 crore, while overseas rights have gone for around 20 crore. Other deals including Hindi dubbing has garnered over 60 crore rupees. And looking at the past few releases of the superstar, the final earnings could be much higher. While Darbar managed 250 crore in the box office, Peta earned 218 crore. The big blockbuster was 2.0. Kala was the only underperformer. Kabali, released in 2016, reportedly made 650 crore.
That's all we have time for on the show today. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Dhanteras.